In today's video, we're going to take a look at when to go on busy roundabouts, and in particular, blockers. Blockers can create a chance to go, but what are they? The traffic trying to join the roundabout from the right side should give way to vehicles approaching from their right. As they give way, they become blocked in. Blockers can be positioned in both lanes. On most roundabouts, vehicles in the outer lane on the edge will exit to our right side. Vehicles in the inner lane nearest the island will either exit to our right or continue around to our left. Should the vehicles exit the roundabout to our right side, in this moment a chance to go could be available. If the traffic approaching from the right is blocked by a vehicle on the inner lane, we should wait until we know which way the vehicle is going, because it could continue around. If the traffic on the right is blocked by a vehicle in the outer lane and there is no vehicle in the inner lane, we normally don't need to wait, as they will exit to our right side. However, look out for any information that tells you that they will continue around, such as indicators, position or speed. Here's a slightly different view of a blocker going straight ahead second exit. The blue car on the far outer lane is blocking the cars from entering, creating a gap for the red car nearest us to go. Another view of a blocker on the outer lane travelling ahead second exit. Although we don't know it yet, this vehicle is going to do a full circle and will become a blocker. This vehicle is probably going to turn right and will also become a blocker. The potential blockers are disappearing behind the bush on the roundabout island, reappearing now on the right side. The cars at the right entrance are giving way to the blockers. As the blockers exit the roundabout, it creates a 2 or 3 second opportunity for vehicles to enter the roundabout. Here's a different view where we can see a series of 3 blockers all exiting the roundabout, giving a good opportunity for cars to enter. And another angle of a blocker using a well-timed signal to exit the roundabout. You will not get a better blocker than a lorry. They travel very slowly across the roundabout, which creates a very long gap and a good opportunity for drivers to pull away. This lorry is going to travel straight ahead, second exit. It also helps that there's a car on the inside lane that is exiting the roundabout, creating a second blocker. Look how many cars can pull away in this time. For vehicles that are turning right or going full circle, it can be hard to react to them when they are exiting the roundabout. Many learners try to look for indicators, but this is not helpful. A left indicator is very difficult to see as it's on the far side of the car. Instead, try to read the distance from the island. I cannot tell which way this car is going yet. I need to wait for another second, and the distance from the island increases. This tells me the car is going to exit. The same applies for the next vehicle. I'm going to wait a second and see if the distance increases, which it does. At this point, I'm very sure the car is going to exit. The following vehicle, can't tell which way it's going yet, but a second later, the distance increases and this one's going to exit. The next vehicle, can't tell which way it's going, and a second later the distance hasn't increased and I think it's going round. Last vehicle, right signal's on, but the distance increases even though the right signal's on, and I could go. To achieve maximum efficiency when moving off, it's a good idea to start moving forwards about half a second to a second before your gap actually arrives. That way you don't miss any of the gap, and you can take smaller gaps. which is exactly what this van does. Let's see that at full speed. Yeah, I'd say he's practiced that a few thousand times. Smaller gaps will require more speed, but don't take any risks. Making someone brake on the roundabout will certainly fail a driving test. This driver is anticipating a blocker and begins to creep forwards. Creeping forwards allows the driver to react to the blocker as early as possible. Here's another example of creeping forwards in anticipation of the blocker, which allows him to react faster. If there is a vehicle in the lane next to you which is blocking your view of the roundabout, don't go because they go. There could be a blocker coming around the roundabout which is going to exit to your left which cannot be seen. You might pull out into the path of that vehicle and the vehicle next to you may get away. Instead, wait until you can see and you are sure that it's safe to go. It's not possible to read the indicator of the blue car on the outside lane, but what we do know is that vehicles are supposed to be travelling ahead second exit using the outer lane. Therefore, position acts as a signal, and it acts as a very good signal. There may be exceptions where the outer lane can be used to turn right. As we can see in this clip, it's reasonably obvious the driver in the outer lane is not going straight ahead second exit. What makes it even more obvious is his poor lane discipline as he starts to straddle the right lane. Looking at a previous clip, look at the car that's turning right on the roundabout. He's using a left signal already, and you can really see that indicator cannot be trusted. I've got a few clips now from inside the car, from the driver's point of view. I'm going to break them down for you and show you what I'm thinking. So now my view's become blocked, I'm concerned there might be a blocker coming round to my left. So I'm just going to wait. Now I can see the blocker is moving away from the island, and I think it's safe to go. This blocker is on the edge of the roundabout and I'm quite confident it's going straight ahead second exit, so I'm going to go. Need to see where this van's going, and the car after the van in the inside lane, need to see where that one's going. Cars on the right are beginning to pull out, so I need to wait. Now there's a car on the outside lane, but I need to wait and see where the car on the inside lane is going. Cars on the right are off again. Two blockers on the roundabout. I expect they're going in different directions. Now there's a car on the inside lane exiting, and the car on the edge of the roundabout on the outside lane I'm confident is going straight ahead second exit, so I'm going to go. As I get near to the roundabout, there's a car entering from the right and I don't think I've got time to go, but there's a blocker just after that exiting the roundabout and I can go. I've actually got 3 blockers in a row here. Just a shame I'm not at the roundabout quite yet. My view becomes blocked here, so I'm concerned that something might be coming round, but by creeping forwards I can increase my view. Car on the inside lane there, so I'm not going to go. Another car on the inside lane. Car on the outside lane, but the cars are stopping because there's an ambulance, so I'm not going to take that chance. Car on the inside lane continues round to the left, and the next. Now we've got 2 cars exiting the roundabout and it's my chance to go. So my view of the roundabout is just about to open up. Got a car on the inside lane to give way to, a second car on the inside lane to give way to, and a third car on the inside lane. The distance from the island has just increased and I'm sure that he's exiting and I'm going to go. That's the end of today's video, all about blockers. I hope it's given you some tools so you can identify the blockers and react to them, and to make your life easier on those busy roundabouts. If you've got any questions about blockers, please comment in the comments section below and I will answer. Thanks for the support and goodbye for now. If you are looking for car insurance, check out My First. They are a multi-award winning broker trusted by thousands of young drivers, specialising in car insurance for young drivers, new drivers, learner drivers and student drivers. Use the code seen on the screen for a juicy discount. Follow the link in the description below to get started.